How does something this small, a honk at a green light, turn into someone losing their life? How does a moment of irritation become a murder? This is the story of 21-year-old Kentrell Settles, a young man simply driving through Indianapolis, doing what anyone would do, honking to alert another driver, and the split-second act that triggered a deadly chain of events. It all began on October 17th at the corner of West 38th Street and Georgetown Road, where 21-year-old Kentrell Settles found himself behind a car that wasn't moving, even though the light was green. Witnesses and investigators say the driver in front, 23-year-old Deborah Benefiel, just sat there, long enough for Kentrell to tap his horn. Not aggressively, not repeatedly, just enough to say, "The light's green," a completely normal thing anyone would do. But that simple honk, something people hear every single day on the road, is what prosecutors say set off a deadly chain of events. Instead of driving forward, Benefiel allegedly became enraged. She didn't just accelerate and move on, she followed him. Investigators say she began trailing Kentrell's vehicle, screaming out of her window, escalating a moment that should have lasted only seconds. Kentrell kept driving, likely confused, maybe even nervous. This wasn't a confrontation he wanted. He'd simply honked at a green light. Police say the chase continued onto Donald Avenue, where Benefiel pulled alongside him, and that's when the situation crossed a line that can never be undone. According to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, she raised a gun and fired directly into Kentrell's vehicle. One bullet hit him in the chest. Neighbors called 911 and responders rushed to the scene. Kentrell was taken to a nearby hospital, but despite medical efforts, he was pronounced dead shortly after arriving. 21 years old. A future full of possibilities. Gone because someone couldn't handle a moment of frustration. Detectives moved fast. Using license plate recognition technology deployed across the city, they identified Benefiel's vehicle within hours. By the end of the same day, she was in custody. Prosecutors have charged her with murder and criminal recklessness, and a Marion County judge has ordered her held with no bond. Authorities have been blunt about what this case represents. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears said, "It plainly, a moment of anger should not cost someone their life." And that's exactly what this case is, a fatal explosion of rage over something so small, so completely trivial, that it's hard to even wrap your mind around the reality of it. Road rage cases have been increasing nationwide, but the facts in this one strike a different kind of nerve. Kentrell didn't confront her. He didn't threaten her. He honked his horn at a green light, and for that, he lost his life. Police describe the shooting as utterly senseless, avoidable in every possible way. The story has shaken the Indianapolis community. Friends and family of Kentrell Settles describe him as kind, funny, easygoing, someone who avoided drama. And the idea that his life ended because of something so meaningless has left people angry, heartbroken, and deeply unsettled. Investigators say there is no evidence of prior interaction between the two, no argument, no ongoing dispute, just a moment of impatience turned into deadly violence. Now, Benefiel is awaiting her next court hearing, scheduled for November 4th. If convicted of murder, she faces decades behind bars, possibly even life. And while accountability matters, it doesn't bring Kentrell back. It doesn't fix the damage or erase the fear this case puts in the minds of ordinary drivers who know they could just as easily be in his position. And that's what sticks with people, the randomness of it. How quickly something normal can turn deadly when someone with a short fuse and a weapon makes a catastrophic choice. As prosecutors put it, the community has to find better ways to handle conflict, especially on the roads, because no one should die for honking a horn. No family should be forced to grieve a life stolen because another driver couldn't control their anger. This case isn't just about road rage. It's about what happens when a split-second emotion turns into irreversible violence. Kentrell Settles' death is a reminder that the smallest actions can have the largest consequences, and that sometimes the most fragile thing in the world is the boundary between annoyance and tragedy. Kentrell's family is now left to pick up the pieces, planning a funeral instead of celebrating milestones. And Deborah Benefiel will spend the foreseeable future in a jail cell awaiting trial, all because of a decision that took only a few seconds but changed countless lives forever. A green light, a single honk, and a young man's entire future gone.